Earlier, we saw West Yorkshire Trading Standards discover unscrupulous restaurants and takeaways selling fake goat meat.
Got the curry.
They're passing off cheaper meats, mutton and lamb, as genuine goat.
6 out of 6 samples, not what they say they are.
Leicester is a city with one of the highest proportion of Muslims in the UK. Most of the meat on sale in areas with a large Muslim community is halal, which is meat slaughtered in accordance with strict Islamic guidelines. But then, a worrying case of fake lamb discovered in one of Leicester's restaurants landed on the desk of Trading Standards officer Ronald Ruddock. He was very concerned, but he didn't at that stage know the full implications for the local community.
The background to this case, it came to us following an inspection carried out by our food safety team, who had sampled a lamb curry and found that there's no lamb in this at all. We were shocked, almost to the point of, can you double check that?
Further lamb samples were taken from a number of local restaurants and takeaways in and around Leicester. But bizarrely, all the dishes sold as lamb had one very surprising thing in common.
It was supposed to be lamb. When it was sent off to the analyst, it came back as 100% turkey, and as a result, an investigation was carried out to ascertain the source of that meat.
Ronald feared the restaurants were all buying the fake lamb, which was actually turkey from the same supplier, a company called Dutch Bangler Limited, which appeared to be based in Peterborough. The team wasted no time executing search warrants at a number of addresses linked to the company. And this is what they found.
This is a photograph of how the meat was presented to the purchasers. To the appearance of it was very much like the carcass of lamb.
But in this case, appearances turned out to be deceiving.
The food inspectors that went out held up this turkey against a lamb carcass just to show how close it appeared. We were very surprised that turkey could ever be mistaken for lamb. Well, even to a trained eye, it looked right, they looked sophisticated.
But it wasn't just the meat that was being faked. Ronald also had concerns about the packaging.
What we have is the vacuum-packed meat, and what we have on it is labelled boneless lamb leg and details of the supplier and their unique number on the labels. To all intents and purposes, that looks like a genuine label.
These labels are a legal requirement for the sale of meat, which allow the authorities to track the animal's origin.
This business is a genuine business, but it didn't supply this meat. And this number, which would normally relate to this business, related to another genuine business, and again, it didn't supply the meat in question.
Turkey can be purchased for as little as £1 per kilo. But what this man, Mahmoud Roman, and his partner in crime, Karmal Rahman, were doing was selling turkey as fake lamb for up to £7.25 a kilo.
It is a big money maker. What we discovered was around 116,000 kilograms of turkey having been brought in during the 22-month period that we looked at in the investigation.
That's enough meat to make around 64,000 curries. Trading Standards had just uncovered one of the biggest cases of fake food the team had ever seen.
Over the 22-month period that we investigated, we think they've made anything between £380,000 and £700,000.
But there was a more sinister side to this fakery. The fake lamb was being sold exclusively to Leicester's Muslim community, and buyers were issued with a certificate claiming it was halal meat. But Ronald was about to find evidence to suggest otherwise.
The certificate that was being produced was a fake. Without this certificate, they would struggle to sell the meat.
This meant Leicester's Muslim community had been unwittingly eating non-halal meat, and the impact was huge. Talha Ahmed is the treasurer of the Muslim Council of Britain and knows just how much this fake halal meat affected the people of Leicester.
From a religious point of view, it is a crime to eat something which is not permissible. Some people would simply be disgusted even to think that they may have eaten something which is not halal. And some people would literally fall sick it will happen. I'm telling you, it will happen. Some people would literally be sick thinking that they may have eaten something which is not halal.
To make matters worse, many of Leicester's halal restaurants, butchers and takeaways have been duped into buying this fake halal lamb and have been unwittingly selling it to their customers.
From the restaurateur's point of view, they may have eaten themselves some of it which they should not have, but the thought that they may have caused tens and hundreds of others to eat something they should not have, I think it is going to haunt a good number of them. And also for some people it's going to be life-changing.
The community now find it hard to retain confidence in the food they're eating.
The impact is going to be now your trust gone, your confidence gone. Many people will reduce their diet. They will not be eating meat unless they can be absolutely certain that they can.
But for the fraudsters responsible, their days of selling fake halal lamb were numbered. After a 5-week trial, the two men behind the fakery, Mahmoud Roman and Kamil Rahman, were both sentenced to 5 years in prison for conspiracy to commit fraud.
It is a good outcome, and it does reflect not only the fraud, but the impact that fraud had on the community.